Let me hit you with a truth most men don't realize until it's too late. It's not about what you say to a woman, it's how you make her feel about herself when she's with you. Most compliments are forgettable, generic fluff. But the right words said the right way can strike her deep, like a secret she didn't even know she needed to hear. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 compliments that don't just flatter her, they touch her soul. They'll make her think about you long after the conversation ends. Before we dive in, though, I've got something special for you. A free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. This book reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you. Grab it now, link in the description or pinned comment. Alright, let's start with the first compliment. Here it is. 1. You see things in a way most people don't. This compliment goes beyond just her looks. In a world where women constantly hear the same old compliments, nice smile, you're hot, pretty eyes, it's easy to feel like you're just another person offering shallow praise. But when you tell her you see things in a way most people don't, you're recognizing something rare about her, her perspective, her mind, the way she interprets the world. This shows her that you don't just see her physical appearance, you value her insight. It makes her feel seen beyond the surface. Why does this work so well? Because, let's face it, many women feel invisible when it comes to their intelligence. Society often expects women to look good, smile, and stay quiet. When a man sees beyond the physical and notices her unique perspective, it makes her feel validated in a way she rarely experiences. She feels like a rare gem that was overlooked by everyone else, but you saw her for what she truly is. You've just given her something she didn't even know she needed, a reminder of how exceptional she is. And she'll remember you for it. 2. You make people feel comfortable just by being around them. This compliment is powerful because it taps into how she makes others feel, not just how she looks. When you tell her you make people feel comfortable just by being around them, you're telling her that her mere presence has a calming effect. You're acknowledging that her energy has the ability to bring peace without her having to do anything. Most people go through life being complimented for what they do or how they look. But how often do people acknowledge the way someone makes them feel just by being there? When you give this compliment, you're telling her that her presence alone is healing. She doesn't have to perform, entertain, or impress, she just has to exist, and that's enough. This is the type of deep connection that rarely gets acknowledged. You're not flattering her ego, you're nurturing her soul. And trust me, this is how real desire begins to take root. 3. You're more powerful than you realize. Now, this one is a game changer. This is the kind of compliment that hits like a lightning bolt when you say it at the right moment. It's not something you throw around casually. You wait for a moment when she's opened up to you a bit, maybe she's sharing something she's struggling with or doubting herself, and then you drop this. You're more powerful than you realize. It'll stop her in her tracks. Why? Because, deep down, every woman carries silent battles. She wonders if she's enough, if she's doing too much, or if she's not being enough. When you reflect her strength back to her without trying to fix her or save her, you remind her of who she is. And that's magnetic. You don't need to chase her, play games, or put on a show. When you remind her of her inner power, she starts to see you in a completely new light. This creates trust, depth, and mystery. She'll start to wonder, how does he see me like this? How does he know? And just like that, you've drawn her in, not through empty words, but by respecting and honoring her strength. 4. There's something about you that makes silence feel good. This one's subtle but incredibly effective. Most people avoid silence. They fill it with noise, small talk, and nervous chatter. But when you say to her, there's something about you that makes silence feel good, you're letting her know that you don't need to fill the space with words to feel comfortable. Her presence alone makes silence feel natural, even peaceful. This compliment suggests that with her, you can simply be. She doesn't have to perform, entertain, or explain herself. She can just exist, and that's enough for you. It creates an intimacy that's often overlooked. Silence doesn't have to be awkward. It can be comforting. And when you acknowledge that, you're showing her that you value her company in its purest form. This is something that many women rarely hear. So many compliments focus on appearance. You're hot, you're sexy. But how many men stop to say, your presence brings peace? Almost none. It's the difference between chasing after something and attracting it. A man who's comfortable with silence doesn't need to fill the air with words. He can make her feel valuable even in stillness. That's the kind of man she won't forget. Say this when you're walking next to her, sitting in a car with no music, or lying down beside her. It'll land like thunder. 5. You don't try to be different, you just are. Every woman is constantly trying to figure out who she really is beneath the surface. the version of herself that's not shaped by society's expectations or the opinions of others. When you say, "You don't try to be different, you just are," you're acknowledging a part of her that doesn't need to impress anyone, yet still stands out. This compliment tells her that you see her for who she really is. Not the version of her that's trying to be someone she's not, but the real her. You see the her that doesn't need validation or attention but still manages to shine. It hits deep because so many women struggle with their identity. They wonder if they're too loud, too quiet, too much, or not enough. By complimenting her essence, the part of her that doesn't try to be anything but herself, you're telling her that she's enough exactly as she is. You've just made her feel seen in the most authentic way possible. This also speaks volumes about you. It shows that you're different, too. Most men compliment a woman's makeup, her clothes, her curated social media persona. But you've noticed something deeper, her essence. And that's incredibly powerful. Tells her she's safe to be real with you. 6. You'd be dangerous if you ever realized how beautiful your mind is. This compliment hits like fire because it sounds like a warning, but it's actually an invitation. Most women hear compliments about their looks. You're beautiful. You have gorgeous eyes. You're smart. But how often do they hear that their mind is beautiful? When you say, "You'd be dangerous if you ever realized how beautiful your mind is," you're telling her that you see her intelligence as something powerful, something untapped. It's not just about praising her intellect. It's about making her realize her own potential. It'll make her pause. She'll start to wonder, "Wait, what do you see in me that I haven't seen in myself yet?" And that's where the magic happens. She'll start thinking about herself through your lens, and that creates deeper attraction. You've just planted a seed that will grow in her mind, making her think about you not just in terms of attraction but as the man who unlocked her hidden power. Use this compliment when she says something insightful or surprising, something sharp, thoughtful, or poetic. Let the moment linger. Let her feel like her intelligence is a weapon she hasn't fully unlocked yet. And when she does, she'll remember you as the man who handed her the key. 7. You remind me of someone I haven't met yet. This one is poetic but also deeply emotional. It might sound like a riddle, but it's about soul recognition. When you say, "You remind me of someone I haven't met yet," you're telling her that there's something familiar about her, yet she's still an enigma. You're hinting at a connection that feels destined, something you both were always meant to discover, even if you didn't know it. It's a compliment that creates a paradox. She feels both mysterious and understood. You're planting the idea that there's something inevitable about your connection, like you were always meant to meet, but you've only just realized it. This creates a sense of depth and wonder between you. It doesn't need an explanation, just say it during a quiet moment when you're both vibing, not flirting or trying to push anything. Let her feel it and don't over-explain. Sometimes the beauty is in the mystery. This compliment will stick with her like a lyric she can't get out of her head. It'll make her reflect on the unique bond between the two of you and how something greater than both of you might be at play. Let her wonder. Let her feel it. That's where the magic is. 8. You walk like you own a story no one else has read. This one is pure power and mystery. When you tell her you walk like you own a story no one else has read, you're acknowledging her uniqueness in the most profound way. You're saying that there's something about her that can't be fully understood at first glance, something untold and undiscovered that she carries with herself. It's a compliment that celebrates her mystery without needing to unravel it. It speaks to the depth of her experience, the journey she's been on, and the strength she's gained along the way. It tells her that you see the person beneath the surface, the part of her that's been through things, that carries weight, but still stands strong. When you say this, you're showing respect for her story, for everything that makes her who she is. Women who have been through deep experiences, who have depth, resonate with this because they often feel misunderstood, oversimplified, or reduced to surface-level traits. This compliment says, "I see you. I respect what you've been through. I honor the untold parts of your journey." A woman who's been through a lot, who has real depth, will feel this deeply. It's a compliment that doesn't just acknowledge her looks, it honors her as a whole person. It's the kind of compliment that doesn't just make her feel good, it makes her feel understood. And that's it. These 8 compliments are powerful because they don't just flatter her, they show her that you see her in ways most men never do. It's about recognizing her inner beauty, intelligence, and strength. It's about making her feel seen, heard, and valued for more than just her appearance. If you've learned something from these compliments, or if you've never thought about compliments in this way, you've already leveled up as a man. You don't need to memorize these lines. Just understand the intent behind them to see her as she truly is and appreciate her for everything that makes her unique. If you're the kind of man who values quiet strength and emotional intelligence and you want women to feel something real around you, subscribe to the channel. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real tools for real men. Drop a comment with the word notice so I know you're one of us, the men who see what others don't. Thanks for watching.